So here's a tutorial on how you can use Excel to help you with your Snell's Law lab. So I have here the data from the Snell's Law lab. The theta I is the incident angle ranging from 10 to 40 degrees, and the theta R is the refracted angle ranging from 16 to 70.5 degrees. And what I want to graph is the sine of those angles. Sine theta I on the x-axis, sine theta R on the y-axis. So one way that I could do that is just taking my graphing calculator, making sure that I go to the mode, changing it to degree mode, and then manually type in sine 10 and type that value right into my Excel file, 0.1736. But I would have to make sure to keep all the decimal places, not just those four. I have to keep going forth, back and forth, 481777. And even that is not a very good, and still an approximation of the real answer. Okay, and then I could do the same thing for 20 degrees. But you can see that that would be pretty time consuming. The nice thing about using Excel is that it's able to do formulas for you. So if you want to get Excel to do a formula for you, all you have to do is go up to this formula bar right here and type the word equals, or go to your f of x and choose from there. We're going to choose sine. Okay, and the number that you want to take the sine of is the first box, A2. Now this gives you the angle in radians. It gives you a hint here. If you want it in degrees, you're going to have to take this number, multiply it by pi, and divide it by 180 degrees. If you want to know why, you need to take Math 12. Okay, and you can see that you get exactly the same result. I'm just going to take that and move it up to where it should be. Okay, so let me go through that another way. Another way you can do it is just type equals, actually spell out the word sine, use an open bracket, click on the box that you want it to take the sine of, and then because that's going to be in a form called radians, we need to just make a small adjustment so that it's in degrees by multiplying it by pi, open bracket, close bracket for pi, and then dividing it by 180. Now the nice thing about doing this is that you don't have to type it up all the time. Once you have it once, you can take the bottom right corner and drag it down. And you can see that for the next one it chose A4, and for the next one it chose A5. You could also take that whole column and take the bottom right corner and pull it across. And then it takes the B values. So it takes sine of the R angles, the refracted angles. So there's my table really quickly. If I had more values, I could just pull it down further. It saves a lot of time. So now in order to graph those, I'm going to highlight them, go up to your data, insert, and choose a scatter plot. We never want to connect the dots on a graph. You're just going to graph the scatter. Okay, and now you can choose a layout that's nice, that has a title and everything. You're going to title your graph based on your y-axis versus your x-axis. So you're going to have your refracted angle versus the sine of the incident angle. I should have put sine at the beginning there as well. Sine of the refracted versus sine of the incident. Whatever's on your y value versus whatever's on your x axis. Make it a little bigger so we can see it. You can always get rid of the legend that's on the side. You don't really need that. There, that spaces it out. And we never really want to show the grid lines either. So you can clear the grid lines. There we go. So then you're going to title your axes and give them units. Sine of an angle doesn't really need units per se. So then you right click on your data and you can add a trend line. And when you do that, you want to choose display equation on chart and display r² value on chart. Okay, now from this equation, you should be able to find the index of refraction. The closer that your r² value is to the number 1, the better fit the line is to your graph. Now, you never want it to equal exactly 1 because that probably means that you made up your data points. But you do want a value that is close to 1. So that's how you can use Excel to graph data for your Snell's Law lab.